we got to Shetland, checked out the weather forecast, saw that it was going to be a bit rough. We went and got some tyres to prepare for possibly deploying them over the back of the boat if needs be. Left the dock with 3 reefs in the main and the jib. 35 knots was what we were expecting, but there was a reasonable sea starting to build. And we started taking sail down. We put a reef in the jib and we were just surfing down the waves at, in the teens. And the oil rigs that we were seeing were starting to disappear and come and go in the waves. Took our jib down and took our mainsail down, put the heavy jib up for a little bit. Going down the waves was great fun. Occasionally you just get hit by one which started slewing you sideways a bit. Wasn't really a worry about burying the bows because they're such long, fine bows with lovely pick up. But it was the sideways slewing once you start slipping on the wave and you lose control a little bit. And we said, well, before it gets too bad, maybe we'll just throw a line out the back and see the effect of it. Because we hadn't done this before. It certainly did slow the boat down. Waves occasionally breaking into the cockpit. We applied another line. We had 43 knots, that's the gust I saw at one point, so we put the tyre out. And that almost slowed us down too much. Down to about 4.5, 5 knots. But it felt fairly comfortable, so we just rode with it. We were fair sailed for 18 hours. I think probably we'll towing warps for maybe 12. So it was a fair old time.
We had sort of fun crossing the start line in Lerwick when we were doing about 6 or 7 knots with no sails up at all. We pulled our staysail up shortly after that, and we actually, I think we had the staysail up like that for at least 24 hours. It was the only sail we had up.
What do you think then, Ruth? Cruising or racing in company, I believe they call it. There's the mighty Strontium dog, having Andy Fennell and Simon Redding, drinking tea probably. We've just got all racy on us and pulled out the rest of their Genoa, which might not be a bad idea. Had a few interesting moments, haven't we? The boat seems to be coping with it very well.
I'd have thought twice about whether we'd really wanted to leave at the time that Paradox left.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if I was in Paradox I wouldn't have left.
No, that's a story in its own right. Paradox was the first boat into Lerwick, beating all the Class 40s, leading the whole race, which meant they were first out. And the Royal Western Yacht Club decided to add some time to the compulsory 48 hours stopover, which about 10 minutes after they'd told everyone, which they were quite relieved about, they withdrew, leaving it with the skipper to make the decision of whether to sail or not. So the Paradox guys, Will and Matt, were looking a little bit apprehensive untying from the dock, and just before they went out I suggested they took a few tyres with them. They got hit by an enormous wave. The boat was rounded up and turned sideways. It was then tossed off of the crest of the wave and dropped vertically down the wave face sideways, literally skipping out of the wave as it went down, about 3 times apparently. That was washed out of the helm seat and somehow ended up in the cockpit. The wave then proceeded to dump into the cockpit, washing the metal winch handles out of the cockpit coaming. At this point they decided to get some tyres out the back and steady the boat down and go a little bit more cautiously. It did allow the Class 40 yachts to then overtake and beat them to Lowestoft. But in salute to their seamanship, I think there's about 5 boats in before them, and crew and skipper were lining up on the dock, giving them a standing ovation coming into the dock as a sign of respect, and we're very impressed that they made it through that leg, because it was a very extreme sailing. It takes something to go out in a little 33-foot trimaran into those sort of conditions. It shows the boats can take it.
So, where the hell are we? Somewhere east of Hartlepool. drifter. Having to paddle faster.
Closer to the wash area, the winds just started dropping and we spent 6 hours absolutely stationary, and then the following 12 hours we only had 40 or 50 miles to go and it just took forever to get into Lowestoft.
Don't know whether you can see that. 2.4 knots. Now at this point we don't know whether Paradox has made it or not. Dare we get phone coverage and phone somebody up? It could be the end of all our hopes. We could have the nooses ready for us on the dock in Lowestoft.